Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Bavarian and I hope that you have had a great time in 2022 so far. Today, to ensure that you can start off in CK3 as well as you hopefully did in real life, or as poorly if that is what you prefer, I will tell you about the top 5 must-play characters in this fan-favorite mod, the Fallen Eagle. In this mod, the days of the Roman Empire are doubtlessly numbered, and utter chaos is soon to befall much of Europe and North Africa. This is exactly why this top 5 will focus on one thing and one thing only, those that remain. These characters may be enemies, friends, or servants of the old order, but they all will have to find their fortune on their own as the giant falls apart, at least the western half. And indeed, in the Fallen Eagle, the Roman Empire is hardly in need of outside opponents, as it is already more than busy with itself. The mod start date is the year 395, and Alaric, king of the Visigoths, is challenging the West Roman Empire for Pannonia. Now, just a quick disclaimer. Playing Rome or a character that wants to restore it is great fun as well, but if the Western Roman Empire is AI controlled, the mod's mechanics almost guarantee that it will eventually fall apart. All of this makes it so that basically no matter what, you will have an amazing playground for the characters on this list. The Fallen Eagle mod has done something that is rather uncommon in grand strategy games as a whole. It has managed to create a good system to emulate an empire's downfall. In the case of this mod, it is done via the imperial competence mechanic. Fundamentally, the Roman emperors must maintain decent military, civic, and diplomatic polities in the mod's unique law interface. Each law category, military, society, and diplomacy, has different requirements that will then enable the emperor to stabilize their realm. If they fail to secure the approval of the realm by showing weakness or being hated, the empire itself will fall apart. That is when you want to strike. Now, without further ado, let's start with number 5. And this one is rather far away from the Roman Empire itself. This spot belongs to one of the fan favorites out there, the Magyars. While you may know and love the Magyars from the Arpad adventures in the 867 start date in CK3's vanilla game, you should not sleep on them in this mod either. Although historians aren't entirely sure where the Magyar clans were in this century, we roughly understand them to be somewhere beyond the Ural Mountains, and that is exactly where you can find them in the Fallen Eagle. The origins of the Magyar tribes in this period are shrouded in mystery, but since we know where they end up, in the Carpathian Basin of course, there is a lot of glory that can arise from these humble beginnings. Their current ruler, Grand Prince Shaba, is pitted against the powerful Ruran Khaganate of the east, various other tribes to the south, and the almighty Hunnic Empire in the west. Certainly, these are not the ideal situations for anybody, but if anybody can get things done, then it is these nomads right here. And yeah, you heard that right, nomads. This brings us to the biggest reason that you should be playing the Magyars. Not only do you have a goal for them, but you also have the means. The Fallen Eagle brings a lot of changes for governments, and the nomadic government is a part of this rather sizable rework. Firstly, people with the nomadic government can raid to their heart's content, which is of course important as your own counties are, well, underdeveloped. However, these horse-riding guards are not limited to the normal boring form of raiding. No, they can also declare grand raid wars. Grand raids are best declared against the rich, beautiful, and powerful empires of the world, as they will yield massive amounts of money and prestige if you play your cards right and come out on top. You will even keep one chosen county after the war should you be the winner, which you can then use as your foothold into the region. Of course, this can also have large-scale implications. As you know, the Roman empires must keep up their imperial competence or will disintegrate. Going bankrupt thanks to a Magyar raid can therefore directly lead to the end of the Roman Empire without you ever taking a piece of land. And who wouldn't want to do that? But wait, there is even more. Nomads can also use a migration casus belli that allows them to seize one entire kingdom's de jure area. That's how you can make your way from beyond the Ural Mountains all the way into Pannonia. So what are you waiting for? It's time to bring the Magyars to Europe a mere 500 years early. Alright, number 4 is shared by two grand people that, similar to the Magyars, are shrouded in mystery and legend. I am talking about Conan Meriadoc of Brittany and King Coel of Arhain Ogleth. Both of these figures are legends of the original Britons, the Celts. Both of them, coincidentally, also are vassals within the Western Roman Empire at the start of the game. However, they face radically different challenges and are radically different people. Let's start with Conan Meriadoc. Conan is the mythical founding father of the Kingdom of Brittany, and Brittany's ruling families were eager to trace their lines all the way back to him. According to folklore, the usurper Emperor Magnus Maximus received aid from Conan in his endeavor to claim Western Rome, and decided to grant him what would then become Brittany afterwards. In the game, Conan Meriadoc does indeed hold Brechta and Kemper. There are some truly interesting things you can do as Conan that you ought to know about. While he is weak at the start of the game, there is a decision to found the Kingdom of Brittany, which should be simple enough in the chaos of the Western Roman Empire's demise. Additionally, he possesses a claim on Britannia, as his father Eudaf the Old ruled it until his death. If you are capable of assembling a decent amount of strength, you can bring all of the homeland of the Britons under your control and unify your people. Should you be able to achieve that, you can go one step further and dismiss Christianity once and for all by restoring the old Druidic priesthood. However, be warned, Conan himself is fairly safe, but conquering the entirety of Britannia is something that is extraordinarily difficult because of, well, those damn Germanics. And this is the perfect segue to the second man on spot 4, King Coel. Coel is also a legendary figure of the Welsh tradition. He is supposedly the last commander of the Roman forces in northern Britannia, and this puts you into a much more difficult position than our friend Conan is in. While Conan sits in the cozy castles of Brittany, Coel is right where the mighty storm from the east will hit, the Angles, Jutes, and the Saxons. In the mod, King Coel is a product of Rome and Britannia at the same time. His faith mixes Celtic and Hellenic rites, and his culture is the result of Roman rule on the Isle. He is a promising ruler at the start date, but similar to King Alfred the Great of Wessex in 867, he faces an enormous problem. As Rome retreats from the island, the defense of the Britons is also eliminated. Order and authority will dissolve the longer you play, and the Germanic invaders will attempt to utilize this for their own benefit. And I'm more than happy to say that the Germanic tribes will give you absolute hell. They will indeed invade when the time is right and destroy whatever Briton authority there is. Make sure that you are not one of them. On this entire list, this is, in my opinion, the hardest start that you can play because Coel the Old is the product of a dying empire, far removed from the empire's fairly safe core and on the forefront of Anglo-Saxon aggression. Will you weather the storm, or will the Anglo-Saxons take control of much of Britannia, similar to how they did it historically? These Germanic invasions are the perfect segue to spot number 3, King Alaric of the Visigoths. This start is frankly pure fun. Alaric intends to conquer treasure the likes no other Goth has ever even thought of. You start at war with both of the halves of the Roman Empire and as a vassal of the Eastern Roman Empire. Historically, the Goths had gotten the permission to settle Moesia, but then decided to make their way into Pannonia instead. If you know the history of Alaric even just a little bit, then you know that he did not leave it at this. His army would, in 410 CE, sack the city of Rome itself. Later on, the Visigoths would go on to found their kingdom that would stretch from Iberia all the way into Aquitaine. And trust me, you can do the same. The Visigoths, seeing as they are Germanics, can declare migration wars that will see them abandon their old lands and claim new, greener pastures. King Alaric and his kin can also raid, meaning that you can truly be the bane of the Romans. Hell, even the AI gets this done, so I trust that you can as well. Check it out. This is King Alaric in an observer game that I had running. Can you do better than him? Well, download the mod and find out. Alright, and this brings us into a totally different region and spot number 2, Jalil of Medina. Jalil is the representation of the Jewish tribes of Medina settled there prior to the rise of Islam. Jalil made this video as he faces a rather interesting challenge, re-establishing the Kingdom of Judea with a powerful Eastern Roman Empire persisting in most playthroughs. This means that you must build your own realm before you can move on to your actual main goal. Keep in mind that the Sassanid Shah and Shahs may want a piece of you as well, and Rome for that matter of course, just as much as you want to claim Judea. To your south, you have the Yemeni kingdom of Abu Karib, who appears to be the first of a few Yemeni rulers that historically adopted Judaism. He could also be a friend or a mighty foe against your ambitions. However, keep your eyes on the prize because, after all, what have the Romans ever done for us? Now, there will also soon be an update to this mod that will introduce the rise of Islam and present you with a powerful endgame foe if you play in the Arabian region, so this makes this start especially good if the update is out as you are watching this video. And so, let's move on to the top of this list. Number 1. The most exciting nemesis of Rome in this mod. I of course mean the ultimate enemy, the ultimate successor, and the ultimate baller. I'm talking about literally any Germanic ruler. Trust me, when I tell you that you don't want to miss out on some Germanic invasion fun. Germanic cultures have an invention called Germanic Migrations that will allow you to do what you must do, destroy Rome. But, and this is what makes this so fun, trust me when I tell you that you won't be alone in doing it. Are you playing the Saxons and are invading England? Trust me, the Jutes will be right next to you, trying to eat more from the Briton cake than you can. Or are you planning to invade Iberia? Well, maybe you will be meeting some Frisians or some Swedes. Want to give Brittany a visit? Sorry, that spot is already taken by your cousins. Let me tell you, playing Germanics in this mod is a huge amount of fun, as you will never be sure what you will get after migrating. The Germanic AI tribes utilize the migratory CBs excellently and will be right there with you, and from there the world is your oyster. You can raid, form your own feudal empires similar to the Visigoths and Franks, or walk into the light and attempt to restore Rome to its former glory. Maybe we'll call it the Holy Roman Empire this time around. Either way, the Germanic tribes of the Fallen Eagle are king as every playthrough truly differs, leading to a different order of things things each time. Hell, in the few cases in which the West Roman Empire survives, you may want to even arrange yourself with them. And don't forget, you don't always need to conquer everything. Sometimes you can simply make your opponents into tributaries. The mod does, of course, have a tributary system developed by the Avatar team integrated, allowing you to extend your reach far beyond your direct control. And man, check it out. Here, it was the Eastern Roman Empire that fell apart, not the Western one. You could be playing this mod right now and grab Greece in the name of the Saxons. So, go download the mod, join their Discord, and have fun. I hope that you enjoyed the quick video showcasing mod mechanics and characters, and I'll see you later, Alligator.